You're exhausted, burned out, running on empty. But here's the strange part. No one forced you to work this hard. No one's standing over you with a whip. You're doing this to yourself. And you call it freedom. Today we're exploring one of the most unsettling ideas in contemporary philosophy, how freedom became self-exploitation, and how your smartphone became the device that extracts it. This is the work of Byung-Chul Han, the Korean-German philosopher, who's been called the philosopher of burnout, the philosopher of the digital age. And his diagnosis is uncomfortable because it implicates all of us. Let's start with a shift Han identifies in modern society. He calls it the move from a disciplinary society to an achievement society. In the old disciplinary society, control came from outside. There were rules, authorities, punishments. Someone told you what to do, and you either obeyed or faced consequences. Think factories, military, traditional schools, external discipline. But something changed. We moved into what Han calls the achievement society or performance society. In this world, control doesn't come from outside. It comes from within. There's no boss standing over you. Instead, you internalize the demand to achieve, to optimize, to perform. You become your own taskmaster, your own exploiter. And here's the trick. You experience this as freedom. You're not being forced. You're choosing. You're motivated. You're ambitious. You're entrepreneurial. But Han asks, is this really freedom? Or is it a more insidious form of exploitation? One you can't escape because you're doing it to yourself? He calls this the burnout society or the fatigue society. We're not exhausted because someone is oppressing us. We're exhausted because we're oppressing ourselves. And we can't even blame anyone else for it. This leads to what Han calls depression, not in the clinical sense, but as a social condition. When you fail in a disciplinary society, you can blame the system, the authorities, the rules. But when you fail in an achievement society, you blame yourself. You didn't work hard enough. You weren't optimized enough. You didn't achieve enough. The violence is no longer external. It's internal, and it's relentless. Now let's talk about how this connects to technology, specifically your smartphone. Han has a provocative term for it. The smartphone is a devotional object, not a tool, not a device, but something closer to a religious artifact that demands constant attention, constant devotion. He also calls it a digital sovereign. It rules over you. It collects tribute in the form of your attention, your data, your desires. You think you're using it freely, but it's extracting value from you constantly. Every scroll, every click, every moment of distraction. You're generating data, engagement, profit for someone else. And because you're doing it voluntarily, because you're choosing to pick up the phone, it doesn't feel like exploit. It feels like autonomy. But Han argues it's the opposite. You've internalized the demand to be constantly available, constantly connected, constantly productive. Your smartphone isn't freeing you. It's just making your self-exploitation more efficient. This connects to another of Han's concepts, the transparency society. In the past, surveillance came from above. Someone watched you. You knew you were being monitored, and you adjusted your behavior accordingly. But now you surveil yourself. You voluntarily expose yourself. You post your life online. You quantify yourself with fitness trackers, productivity apps, screen time monitors. You become transparent not because someone forces you, but because transparency has become a value, an expectation, a requirement for participation. And in this transparency, there's no privacy left, no inner space, no place to withdraw and simply be. Everything is exposed. Everything is optimized. Everything is measured. And once again, you're doing this to yourself. You've internalized the demand to be visible, to be trackable, to be data. So what do we do? How do we resist this? Han suggests we need to recover what he calls the capacity for contemplation, the ability to linger, to not respond immediately, to withdraw attention from the constant demand to perform. We need to practice what he calls deep boredom, not the shallow boredom of waiting for a notification, but the profound boredom that allows thought to emerge. We need to protect spaces of opacity, places where we're not tracked, not measured, not performing. But this is hard because the achievement society has taught us that withdrawal is failure, that rest is laziness, that any moment not spent optimizing is a moment wasted. We've forgotten how to simply be without producing value. Let me give you 3 questions to sit with. These aren't easy. They're designed to make you uncomfortable because discomfort is where awareness begins. Question 1. Are you imposing tasks on yourself in the name of autonomy? Do you call it freedom when you set aggressive goals, punishing schedules, optimization routines? Or is it self-exploitation dressed up as self-improvement? Question 2. Look at your smartphone usage today. What percentage of it was genuinely what you wanted to do? And what percentage were you pulled into, dragged along by notifications, algorithms, compulsions you didn't consciously choose? Be honest. How much of your screen time is actually yours? Question 3. Where does your fatigue really come from? Is it from other people's demands? Or is it from your own goals, your own standards, your own internalized command to achieve? If you removed every external pressure and only kept your internal ones, would you still be exhausted? Byung-Chul Han's philosophy is uncomfortable because it removes the easy out. You can't blame your boss. You can't blame the system. Well, you can, but only partially. Because you've become complicit in your own exhaustion. You've internalized the logic of achievement. You've turned your freedom into a burden. And your smartphone, that device you think is liberating you, connecting you, empowering you, it's the tribute collector for your self-exploitation. The first step to resisting is an action. It's awareness, recognizing the pattern, seeing how achievement has colonized your sense of freedom. The second step is withdrawal. Not forever, not completely, but regularly. Creating spaces where you're not performing, not producing, not being tracked, just existing, just being, without justification. It sounds simple. It's the hardest thing in the world. Because the achievement society has convinced you that your worth is your productivity, that your value is your performance, that your freedom is your ability to exploit yourself more efficiently. But what if freedom is actually the opposite? What if freedom is the ability to stop, to rest, to refuse the demand to always be achieving? That's the question Byung-Chul Han leaves us with. And it's the question I'll leave you with too. Thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments. What's one area where your freedom has become self-exploitation? And what's one small act of withdrawal you could practice this week